everyone. My name is Lani Dizon. I'm the co-founder of Zenza Capital and the RYO project out of Japan. Our mission is to bring crypto to the masses. I want to say hello to all of our guests from Japan. I've got over 40 people. We have over 40 people that flew in for this conference. It's our first time at Blockchain Futurist Conference. And so thank you and welcome to everybody here.
Nice. Pega, your turn.
Thanks. Well, great to welcome everyone from Japan. That's awesome. I am Pega Soltani. I am the head of our payments product at Ripple. And at Ripple, we build blockchain technology for institutions that let them store, tokenize, and move value.
Welcome. Shana, your turn.
My name is Shauna Durman. I'm the senior manager at Figment, senior manager for quality and integration. Figment is a blockchain infrastructure and staking provider, and I've been in the IT space for 30 years.
Lani, I'm very interested in your advancement. I'm wondering if you could share how that came to be and how you got to where you are and the steps you took to get there.
Yeah, so my experience all started in medicine, and I got into medicine because my father, he passed away when I was 12 years old. He was only 43. He was a Navy officer, and that really changed my life. And when he passed away, I said, I want to do something to really help people. I got a really big heart, and I'm a really big nurturer, and so I got into medicine. When I got into medicine, I realized that my limits, I had too many limits where I couldn't really help people. It was all about prescription medication. So I transitioned into natural nutrition. And in natural nutrition, I absolutely flourished in that. And then I got into a company where I was sharing it. And I built an organization of over 120,000 people without any sales experience. And this is pre-internet. This is when there was pagers and fax machines.
Pagers? Fax machine? Amazing. Wow.
So I'm really dating myself. Because this is over 30 years ago.
We're going to drop your beauty secrets.
And so then after my natural nutrition, then I said, you know what? I think these products could be better. So I started working with scientists and formulators, and I started developing my own product line. So I have my own skincare line, beauty line, wellness line, and then I added to these these wellness companies entrepreneurial opportunities because this really changed my life. So I started uplifting people and focusing on people empowerment, freedom, autonomy. How could I do that? So then went to Japan and all over Asia and built an organization of over 350,000 people. What happened was this personal empowerment and autonomy, I discovered in 2011, Bitcoin. And then that's when I said, wow, this is when I saw all the challenges that were going on in Bitcoin, which is lack of simplicity, lack of usability. And this is why we're building the RYO project for the masses to focus on the average people, non-tech people with an ecosystem for daily use.
It's amazing. I feel like this needs to be like a TED Talk, right? I'm thinking so. So one of the things, as Lani was talking, I'm really thinking about here is the state of women in Web3. And I just wanted to hear, Pega, Shana, what are your thoughts on that?
That's a great question. For me, the Web3 space is a leveler. It levels the playing field. I mean, we can't go into into a room with our colleagues and think they know more because the space is so new. And so there's always new innovations happening. So you know as much as the next person. And so for me, Web3 is levels the playing field. And I think that will allow more women to get into the space because the information is easily accessible. So,
and what do you think about that, Pega?
Well, I think it's improving, but women are very underrepresented. You don't really need to reach far and wide to find examples of that. I think one of the most jaw-dropping stats is if you think of the 50 leading crypto companies, only 3 of them have CEOs that are women. Even if you think off the top of your head of CEOs you know in Web3, how hard is it to think of women in that space? It shows up in other spaces too. One, like, kudos to this conference and ETH Women for having representation, because a lot of places don't. The recent Bitcoin conference in Nashville, I think, had less than 10% women speakers. I think an interesting stat was there were more men speakers whose names started with A and B than there were women speakers in total.
Are you serious? Oh.
Yeah.
Hang on. Can you say that one more time? And can someone record this? Because I know the president of Bitcoin Magazine, and he's about to get a video from me. Can you say that one more time, please? Because that's crazy.
There were more men speakers whose names started with A and B than women speakers in total at that conference.
Oh, Mike, we got to talk about that. Thank you.
So that tells you a little bit about the state of women in crypto. There are positive nuggets, though. One stat recently done by Pantera showed that on a median salary basis in crypto, women were actually earning 15% more. And I don't really know the methodology, but what's super exciting to me about that is that we always say, yes, it's women are underrepresented in crypto, but so are they in tech and finance and fintech. And there's no need for us to follow the trend. Crypto is always about breaking barriers and leapfrogging, and this is another place where we can do that. And yeah, the representation is super important.
I'm so sorry. Did you just say that women are earning 15% more?
Yeah, reverse gender
gap. Oh, come
gap.
on, guys. Can we get a... Okay, right?
Well, I'd like
We
to...
feel seen and heard. Yay. We just need more of us. We need more.
I just want to add to that when you work for a company that is looking at just the market value of the skill versus looking at it from a gender perspective, then women are treated in that band, which is almost, I want to say equally, but that's a bit of a, but it will be treated in the band of the skill and not look at you as the gender for the role.
And I'm wondering, do you ladies have any stories about breaking through the glass ceiling? And if you do, we'd all love to hear that.
Yes, so everything that I've done, I mean, I've had barriers all my life. In building entrepreneurial opportunities, starting at only 19 years old, and then transitioning, building my companies and expanding it to Japan, a foreign country where it's male driven, and a woman, and starting women empowerment groups in Japan and around the world, where men are wondering, hey, what is this? We would have these closed door meetings with women, and the men would want to come in and say, what are you guys talking about? There's all these barriers, even to blockchain, to crypto. And so that's a huge barrier that I had to create this ecosystem, for daily use. What we have created is a digital wallet that is so simple for everyone to use, and a global mall for daily use that has all clothes, massages, nail salons, merchant services, bags, shoes, all of those things. So that alone, and then I got the barriers of the Japan regulations, which is the strictest in the world, and us women, we have the barriers, we feel like we have the barriers of being women, but to tell you the truth, I look at it different. We don't have barriers, we have barriers, but this space is wide open. And what that means is there's more opportunity for us to stand up and do something in this industry and help set the DNA. I didn't come from this industry. I came from the wellness industry, marketing industry. But what I'm doing is I'm focusing on the holes, the needs of people in this industry. And that, I think, is going to be really important because, there's a lot of women that want to come to events like this. The reality is they're intimidated. It's complicated, and we're not catering to the average person. And so that's what we need to focus on. We need to focus on people taking it down to the average people so that they don't have to think about the technology behind crypto. They could just simply use it.
Okay. That's really good. That's really good. Oh, I love this. This is really good. You've got some good cheerleaders. Very nice. Very nice. That's really good. Yeah. Does anyone else have any?
I'd just like to say that, in certain cultures, women and boys and girls are treated differently, so you always have to kind of fight for your voice to be heard. But my strategy over the past 30 years has not been to put a light on, there's no women in the industry, is for me to upskill myself and then share the skills that I find, join the groups, make sure that whatever I've learned, I can share and empower others, and so that they don't have to figure it out for themselves. And that's been my strategy and continues to be my strategy.
Excellent. Anything?
For me, the glass ceiling is funny because it's invisible. And when I was younger in my career, I was like, when is my head going to hit it so then I can break it? But it's not this big thing that's going to be like, oh, here I am. Now you can pass me. It's every day in little moments and then you're left wondering. So it can be in a meeting where your voice is not heard, or applying for a job but you don't get it because you don't fit the stereotype of what a leader is supposed to look like. And you're left wondering, was it me? Is it my skill set? Is there bias? Like, what is happening? And that confusion and self-doubt. And then you take a step back and you're like, all right, it's in the numbers. There is real bias here. And breaking it is not one person's job, but it's all of us. So for me, it's always been really important to surround myself with people that will help me on that journey. And that's been a critical piece of why I joined places like Ripple and the Web3 industry. The president of our company, Monica Long, she runs the whole business. We're almost 1,000-person company with billions of dollars, and it's been really inspiring to watch someone like that grow in the industry, and we do that a lot for women, so they can act as role models for other women as well to succeed.
When I first got started in this industry, thank you, Amber, once again, we would have meetups, and it would be 500 people in the room, and there would be 5 women. It'd be me, Amber, Nancy, Tracy, and I think Jenna. And let me tell you, it was really interesting. I've got some really great pictures from back then. And what I learned is that you could sort of be like, okay, I can choose not to be seen, or you could be like me and wear bright colors so you will see me. And then I made it my mission to make sure that I learned as much as I possibly could so that when people spoke to me, I knew what I was talking about and I came off as sounding, fairly smart. And then I moved into the mining industry, and that was even worse. That's like 98% men and then 2% of women. And that one, I'm really hitting the glass ceiling as I go. But then sometimes I'm going to tell you, honestly, you do need a champion who is a man who can help you sometimes, because, I'm doing my thing, and I've been in this industry a lot longer than the average person in mining. And then I got asked to host to run the Bitcoin Core Developer Summit. We're trying to get more Bitcoin Core developers, and suddenly I'm the woman that's telling all these male CEOs, here's what we need doing, and it's really quite interesting. So I love that we're doing this, and we do continue to hit the glass ceiling, but sometimes, I'm not going to kid you, you do need a champion that can help you who is a man. So men, we need you. We're just trying to tell you that also. And so I'm curious, ladies, can you share with me any experiences that you've learned in your entrepreneurial journey?
My biggest experience, or my lesson, is that we need to focus on people first. We need to focus on people's needs. So, for example, in my wellness companies, what people wanted was products that did what they said they were going to do. Results-oriented products that were simple and that were convenient. And that's what we gave them. And I think that's the reason why we've been so successful with our wellness products. Now, in the crypto space with the RYO coin project, the need is to be able to use crypto without thinking about the technology from behind. What we need to do is we need to focus on not leading with technology, which is what we have been doing. We've been leading with technology, but we really need to lead with high touch first, with people first, with people's needs first. And what the people's needs are is to be able to use products and services, crypto, without thinking about the technology. For example, Visa, MasterCard, Venmo, Tesla, Apple. You don't need to understand the technology behind any of those things in order to use it. But for some reason in crypto, people are having to understand the technology before they even invest in crypto.
You're 1,000% right.
Exactly, which is causing so much complication for people. So we need to bring it down to the average person, non-tech savvy people, and that is what we need to focus on, is helping them to see and feel and experience the benefits of crypto, of blockchain, and see how it's going to advance their lives. And that's what's missing, just like in Web 1. In Web 1, people couldn't fathom what Web 2 was going to bring. And that's what's happening right now, is history's repeating itself, is people don't understand the importance of Web 3 because it's too complicated.
Excellent. So, Pega, do you have anything else to add, my friend?
I think the usability point is a great one, and I'll just round it out that people don't want a PhD in crypto, but they want access to crypto. And we use a lot of jargon in this industry that's a barrier to entry. And there's a lot more simple ways we can say things, but we want to create new terms and language for everything, which can be you can be part of a cool exclusive club, but it's really a barrier and it's not inclusive to bringing more people in the fold.
I completely agree with all of that. I'm thinking there should be not necessarily a TED Talk, but a discussion about how we're so smart that we have to use all these terms and jargons, and really the average person doesn't need to understand it, and so just stop doing it.
Right.
Yeah. Shanna.
The other thing that we don't focus on at the beginning when we're starting, when we've just created our product, is we're so in love with our product. We try to get it to that perfect state, but knowing that, one, there is no such thing as a perfect first product. Your first product is always going to be a lesser version of what you imagine it to be. So ship it fast, and get the consumers' feedback. Let them tell you what's working and what's not working. And then the other thing is, we tend not to focus on the revenue. We want to give away the product because we want them to use it, but we're not at the same time trying to figure out that revenue model of how we're going to make the money. Because at the end of the day, if you've got investors, they are going to expect to see a return. And if you put money in yourself, you need to get that money back. So, work on the revenue model from the get-go and ship your product fast.
What are your predictions for future trends in the industry?
I love this question. First of all, because I'm in the blockchain infrastructure and staking space, ETH staking and Bitcoin staking is a trend that we're seeing. For me, the blockchain being in the underlying backbone of everything that we'll be using and everyday utility, that's what we're going to see. And then, of course, getting to understand how we can tokenize and make blockchain more accessible to everyone. I think the final thing is, for me, blockchain infrastructure, it's going to be embedded in everything, and you won't even know it's there. And so how we make people see that it has that utility is going to be quite important.
Excellent, thank you. Pega.
Yeah, along the same vein. So as I mentioned at Ripple, we provide infrastructure services that let institutions store, tokenize, move value, and go on and off ramps, so into and out of crypto. And we're seeing a lot of banks and institutions enter the space, and because of the tokenization future. So we see huge opportunity in real world asset tokenization. We've already seen the likes of BlackRock enter the space, HSBC, others. So starting with money market funds, we had other panelists talk about real estate tokenization, but there's trillions and trillions and trillions of assets that can and will be tokenized in the decade to come. So that's what I'm super excited about for the next trillions in crypto.
Nice, thank you. Lani.
Yeah, so I would say that the most important thing right now, as far as the next step, would be having user interfaces that are simple, that are familiar, that people can use and understand. And just like, I always say this, just like Hotmail and Facebook, when they came along, it wasn't until they came along and they had the simple user interfaces where people wanted to get on, and from the young to the old, right? It really changed the world where people were getting on because they wanted to. And that is what we need to do, is we need to have simple user interfaces. And this is the reason why what I did is I worked with my developers and I added my female flair to the user interfaces to make sure they were as simple and familiar as possible so that the learning curve is almost nothing. They would already know when they get on their Life Wallet, which is our proprietary Life Wallet, it's as simple as getting on to your bank account, or as simple as getting on to social media. And the Global Mall is a dynamic global mall e-commerce site where it's so simple to use. So that is the most important thing, is we need to bring things down to everyone. And that is our focus at RYO, is everyone.
Thank you, ladies, so much. I really appreciate your time. And that's everything. Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.